the 2-day big event blueprint. And one of the things that we realize in the industry is that many of you want to have your first event. Many of you don't want to just have your first event, but you really want to have a big event. And by big, we want to create big results for the audiences of the people that we serve. We want to create big results, as in the things that we do actually show up and reflect in our bank account. But basically, the hashtag for tonight's presentation is going to be hashtag do it big. Just do it big. Bigger results, bigger revenue, bigger impact, but hashtag do it big. Now, if you're out there right now, here's what I want you to do. Come on over and join me. Come over and join us at the private, the elusive, the exclusive Facebook group. There's no other group like it on the planet, and you can get there by going to virtualnetworkinglive.com. Now, when you get there, post your first name, post your last name. Come on, tell us where you're from. And then tell us a little bit about the product, the service, the mission, the organization, or the brand that you represent. Now, I know that for some of you, it's pretty late. For others of you, it's just getting started. Now, when we're talking about today's presentation on the 2-day big event blueprint, by event, we really mean something that you're doing to add value to your tribe, to add value to your audience. Now, to do it and to be able to continuously do it, you need the value to be reciprocal. You need to give value, but you need to receive value back. Otherwise, what we have seen is many people in the industry have what I call expensive birthday parties, where you want people to just show up, right? And everybody shows up and everybody has a good time. But you ever go to somebody's birthday party or go to somebody's like wedding and everybody looks happy except for the birthday person, the birthday girl, the birthday boy, because they got the bill. You know, I remember that one time I went out to a birthday dinner. By the way, I hate going out to birthday dinners, especially when it's like a whole group of people. Because here's how the birthday dinner goes. We get together 20 of your favorite friends, and we all say we're going out for the birthday dinner. And people are all joyous, and they're happy, and everybody's laughing, and there's drinks are flowing, and people ordering steaks and ice cream, and I'm hungry, good Lord. But chocolate cake, and they're ordering all this stuff, right? And when they're ordering all of this stuff, everybody is merry. All of a sudden, eventually the waiter comes around and he has the check, right? Now, when the check comes up, everybody gets a little tight, right? Well, this is what I had right here, right? And this is what I had right here. Now, the thing that is always interesting is always a few items that nobody wants to lay claim to. Now, somebody know they ordered this foolishness, right? And then all of a sudden, you get a few people, I'm always one of them, that say, well, I'll just put a few extra dollars into the pot, $20, $40, $60, $100 to really offset the bill because somebody had their line, right? But it's okay. And it's your friend's birthday, you want your friend to have a good time. Now, then you start getting people to say, well, how much is the tip? Like, they don't want a tip. And then eventually what happens is the birthday person ends up footing the bill. It's supposed to be we're all grouping together to pay that person's bill, but the birthday person ends up paying the bill. So everybody's happy. Everybody ate well. Everybody had dessert. Everybody had drinks. Everybody showed up and had a good time. Everybody had on their clothes. Everybody was laughing. But at the end of the day, the person who ended up with the bill was the host, was the birthday party person. And that's how it is with events. That because we are doing events in such a haphazard way, oftentimes we are doing events that cost us more money than they actually bring in. And so today what I want to do is I want to help you create a process in which the event is profitable for both the attendee and the host. And so to do that, you're going to actually have to use a system. Now, we got two types of events. We got profitable events because they're using the 2-day big event blueprint, and we got expensive birthday parties. Now, you got your choice. You want to have an expensive birthday party? No worries. Now, to avoid having those expensive birthday parties, the first thing we have to do is we have to remember that it's not all about us, that we have to go in with a serve first mentality. Now, if we go in with this serve first mentality, by the way, mic check to make sure I'm on. Yep, I'm on. All right? So we go in with this serve first mentality. And what we have to do is we have to remember that during these events, sometimes we can get so focused on what we're going to wear and who's going to be there to help me out that we forget that the people who showed up really showed up to get served, and you have to serve them in a strategic way that allows them to get what they came to get to begin with, and also provides a mechanism for you to get what you need. And so this is what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about this 2-day big event blueprint. Now, many of you who arrived today, many of you who got here today, you are here because you went through our 2-day big event blueprint. And right now, there are thousands of people watching on several different platforms. And what we're going to do is we're just going to pull back the big black curtain. And when we pull back that big black curtain, we're going to take you behind the scenes of what we have done in our own events, but also the things that we've done to create highly profitable events for our clients. Now, today, we have created millions upon millions upon millions of dollars using this event blueprint for our clients, for ourselves, and today you're going to be the recipient of this. Now, for this particular presentation, no recording devices are allowed. So if you're in the audience, if you're in our in-house audience, no recording devices. If you're online, will there be a replay of this? No. So what you want to do is you want to take out your pens, take out your paper. Note takers are money makers. So make the most of today's training. Now, we're going to be introducing not only the blueprint, but you're going to actually meet the experts behind the different areas of this 2-day big event blueprint. Okay? So the hashtag for the day, can somebody remember what the hashtag for the day was? Go big? Do it big. I just want to make sure. See, somebody was listening, right? Hashtag do it big. So in this 2-day big event blueprint, let me just walk you through the components and then we'll go into detail. First is going to be all of the promos, the promo tweets, the promo Facebook's posts, the promo emails, the promo LinkedIn posts, the Twitter chats, the blogs, all the things that we actually do to get somebody interested in our event. And then we're going to go from there to talking about the registration page that people go to actually register. By the way, hashtag no dag on Eventbrite. Eventbrite is not a registration page, just for the record. Eventbrite is not a registration page. Matter of fact, it'll cost you money because it generally means that you have not taken your event seriously enough to even create a good-looking registration page. Then we're going to go from there to the thank you page, and there's some very special things that we're doing there. Now we have these people registered. And then we move into your engagement sequence. Here's the thing that I want you to know. Getting somebody to register for your event, whether it be a free event or a paid event, or whether it be a conference call by event, I mean anything where you got to engage with your clients, you got to have a sequence by which you engage them and keep them enthusiastic throughout the event, throughout the whole process before they get to the event. So it's sort of like this. If you ever go to a basketball game, before the team comes out, they have all the dancers and the cheerleaders and the music, and they're doing things to keep your attention before the main event, which is the basketball team. And so we got to do the same thing in our follow-up sequences. So there's going to be the after registration emails. There's going to be the emails that happen during the event. There's going to be the emails that happen after the event. For many of you who registered, you got these after registration emails. For many of you who registered, you got emails during the event. Those were all automated. For those of you who registered, some of you, or all of you, are going to get the after event emails. And this is all automated. All of this is all automated. And then after that, we got to deal with the tweets. We got to deal with the after registration tweets, the during event tweets. Then we got to deal with the text messages, the after registration text messages, the during events, the after events. The only thing that we're missing, and I'll get you to add this, is the robocalls. Now, here's the thing, is that oftentimes we are depending on or deciding which platform is going to be the primary platform that we use to communicate. And we now live in an age where people are using many different mechanisms to handle how they want to be communicated with. And what we're doing is we're saying most events you see an either or strategy. I'm going to do email or I'm going to do Facebook posts. I'm going to do Facebook posts or I'm going to do text messages. I'm going to do robocalls or I'm going to do tweets. And what's happening is you are targeting your audience in such a narrow fashion that you are leaving out people who are actually want to come to your event, who actually may be a fit for your event because you have used a singular communication strategy. So one of the first notes for tonight, and go ahead and write this down, I must use a multi-channel communication strategy. Go ahead and write that down. I must use a multi-channel communication strategy. Write that down. I must use a multi-channel communication strategy. Now, when we talk about the communication pieces that you need, let's just write down the different channels that we're going to use to communicate. We're going to use Twitter. We're going to use Facebook. We're going to use email. We're going to use LinkedIn. We're going to use blogging, right? And also just a little bonus one, we're going to use tweet chat, okay? Also, we're going to use text messaging, and we're going to use robocalls. Now, notice, like Trevor, why didn't you use some of the other ones? We're going to be using communication platforms that allow you to automate your communication. We're going to be using communication platforms that allow you to automate your communication, okay? So once again, Twitter, Facebook, email, LinkedIn, tweet chats, blogs, text messaging, and robocalls. Now, here's what I want you to know, is the purpose of this is to make sure you can put butts in the seat, eyes on the screen, and ears that want to hear your message. This is the whole purpose. And at the end of the day, if you have butts in the seat, eyes on the screen, if you have ears that are listening, you're probably going to be in good position to generate real revenue for your business. Now, to do that, you're going to have to really structure your event correctly from the very beginning. And this is the most important piece. So I'm going to be joined on stage shortly by one of our copywriters and one of our promotional agents. And you're going to be meeting with none other than the Vanessa Collins. And you're also going to be meeting with none other than Ryan Green himself. And he's going to walk us through exactly what happens in this big event blueprint, okay? So what I'll do first is, if Ryan, you'll go ahead and join me on the screen real quick, or join me on the set. And let's just start walking people through this 2-day big event blueprint. Now, this blueprint, if you've registered for Delatoro McNeil's event, www.thekeynotetv.com, right? If you've registered for that event, it's running the 2-day big event blueprint. It was just used as recently as a week ago. Is that keynotetv.com or thekeynotetv.com? Yep. For those of you who are watching right now, you're wondering, you're saying, well, wait a minute, how do I see this thing in effect? You can go to www.thekeynotetv.com. You can also go to smallbizonfleek.com so you can actually experience this. This is not just a training where you get to hear and watch, but you should experience this training so that you know what people who are registering for your event are going through. So Ryan, why don't you go ahead and start walking us through right now with how this thing starts out. Now, I know that we start out in the promo section. So everybody gets that when you do an event, no matter what kind of event, whether it's going to be an event for 20 people or an event for 20,000 people, there has to be some type of excitement, some type of motivation, something that gets people pumped up, right, about attending your event. And so one of the things that you got to do is you immediately got to create copy that causes people to be energized. And so those are your promos, okay? And so the first thing you got to do is you got to create your promo copy. And so would you walk us through that, Ryan?
Absolutely. Now what we're going to do, we have a handout where you can walk through with us. You can go and your free gift we're going to give you, text big event Let me get out the way here. Sorry about that. If you text big event to 240-421-6333, you're going to get this.
That's 428. That's 428.
428. Oh, there we go.
They'll be screaming at Facebook. Oh my gosh. I don't have it. 240-428-6333.
There we go. And you're going to get one of these sent to you. And this is what we're going through. So obviously it looks a lot better on paper than it does right here.
So you mean they get this? Right?
We're going to get this. You can't record it, but you can take the notes. So here it is right here. Let me see if we can, I'll give you a second to zoom in on that, Justin. I'm not zoom in. Well, you know what? It'd be easier for me to go and do it this way. There we go. All right.
So they're going to get that. All they got to do is text in. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Text in big event to 240-428-6333. Big event is one word. Text in the word big event. Okay.
All right, and that's what we're going through today. So I'll make sure I'm in the right place here. I'm standing right next to you. All right, cool. So we're talking about the promos because this is what we're, when you're doing the promos, this is what's getting people excited. This is what's going to get people to pay attention to your call to action and really get excited about your event. Now, I have a degree in marketing. Some of you who have sales backgrounds, you probably heard it takes most people 7 touches before they say yes. 7 touches to take action. And especially if we're talking about social media, we're talking about emails, you have to be able to constantly reach out to people in order to get them to take action. So as you see here, we're going to talk about 10 tweets that we're going to send out, 8 Facebook ads. I'm going to tell you what exactly is in each one of them. 10 emails, 2 LinkedIn, even the tweet chat in the blog. So I'm going to do that math real quick. That's 30. 30 different touches. Now imagine 30 different times that you're in front of someone telling them about your event. As Trevor said earlier, if you're here today watching this, you probably walked through this system and you didn't even know we were doing it, right? Maybe you were watching today and you were like, how is Trevor emailing me while he's on stage talking right now? How did he do that? Because that's the biggest thing is the automation part where now you can take yourself out of this part and really grow your business. All right. So let's talk about the tweets. Now we're talking about first we're going to do the pre-event. These are the promo tweets. Now anyone who uses Twitter, you know you have 140 characters in which you can use to send out information. That's good and bad, okay, because it's hard to get stuff into 140 characters, but it's also good to learn how to type and get your message out concisely, right? So with Twitter, we have the 10 tweets. And what you want to do, obviously, you want to have a link shortener. You want to use a link shortener because you have to have your registration email in every tweet, right? So that's already going to take up some of your characters. So go to a link shortener. We use Bitly. That way you can actually track who's opening your links and things like that. So go to something like that. You want to have that in place. And then,
if I might, Brian, write that down because when you're working with limited characters, you want to take every character seriously. So you want to write down in all of my promotional tweets, I want to use a link shortener, especially if I'm sending them to a registration page. So I want to use a link shortener. Now, one little small note there. I would recommend register for Bitly. Register for Bitly. And don't just use the, you can use the free version, but register because it'll actually allow you to track how many people are actually coming in through your pre-registration tweets. So not only do you shorten the link, but actually register, meaning sign up for Bitly so you can track and use the numbers from that particular link that you shortened.
Absolutely.
Okay? And Justin, when necessary, you can just cut to me on the couch. Back to you, Ryan.
I just heard a voice just talking.
Yeah, it's like the voice of God.
All right. So, and then also when you tweet, you want to put in one benefit. All right. Now we're not saying come sign up for my event. Who's going to do that? Who's really going to act on that? Hey, come register today for this big event. That's not really going to, one, it sounds salesy. And 2, it's not going to really call people to action. They don't care about your event. What they care about is what's in it for them. What they care about is how it's going to benefit them. So you need to make sure that you're putting some kind of benefit in that tweet. All right. So you're going to tell them what their benefit, and then, make it stand out. Don't be afraid to be a little controversial. Don't be afraid to live on the edge a little bit. Because you want to grab their attention. All right. So you've got 10 chances. This is before they even get to the registration. You have 10 tweets, 10 chances to catch them on those tweets. So make it work. Make it happen. Make it count for what it's worth. All right.
And one other note there is with your tweets, voice of God here speaking, with your tweets, one of the things that you want to do with your tweets is find the hashtag, the most popular hashtag associated with the style of event that you're doing. So we were doing an event for small business, right? And so Ryan looked up, well, what's the most popular hashtag for small business? Guess what it was? Small business.
Right.
So in your tweet, use a popular hashtag related to either the industry that you're in or what the event is about. So we were doing an event about small business, so we used hashtag small business so that when people were searching for something about small business, our event popped up because they were searching the hashtag. So be a hashtag jacker is the moral of the story. Be a hashtag jacker. Back to you, Ryan.
That's right. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You know, use the hashtags that are going to bring people in. What are people looking at and bring? That's, hey, why we call this small business on Fleek? Because people know what Fleek is, right? That was a popular word. So do that. Let's talk to the Facebook ads, and I'm going to tell you what they are. We're going to go through and give you a couple of examples of how you can write some. We have the actual copy. I can't believe Trevor's actually giving all this information away. You know, being one of the copywriters, and you'll meet Vanessa in a second as well, re-meet her. You know, people get, it's like your baby when you write something. Trevor's just giving it all away, right? Like, oh my goodness. So anyway, let's go to the Facebook, because Facebook is one of the most powerful social media platforms out there, right? Now, what I would recommend is when you do the Facebook ads is that you set up a business page. Don't do this from your personal page. You want to set all this up through your business page for a couple of reasons. One, because you can track who's opening and how your business page posts, all right? So you want to do that, but then also when you're doing it from your business page, when you share it, you share that on your personal page, all right? So make sure you're using your business page, but also you can schedule. So we're talking about automation, right? So on your business page, you can go through and put in your 8 Facebook posts at one time. So say Sunday evening is your social media day. So Sunday night, you take an hour, you're scheduling your tweets, you're scheduling all 8 of your Facebook posts, and it's gone. And it goes, it'll post automatically. You can't do that from your personal page, all right? So on Facebook, what do you want to do? Facebook, you want to have at least 2 different graphics for your topic. If you're a presenter at the event, or if it is your event, you're going to have a few more graphics. But you want to have graphics. That's pictures. If you've seen our beautiful graphics that we've had for Small Biz on Fleek, the pictures are what draws you in. The pictures are what, when people are scrolling down their timeline, they're going to see that before they see your text. So when you're doing that, you want to have the pictures professionally done. You want to have your graphics professionally done so that people trust that you are what you say you are, all right? You don't want to have your kids doing a word art document saying, come to my event, we're going to teach you how to make $1 million. And it doesn't really kind of jive, right? So for the Facebook ads, you want to have that. Have some pictures with your image on it, but also have some generic pictures with just generic people or just other images that convey the message for your presentation. So because you don't know who's going to see what. You want to make sure that you are appealing to as many people as possible. All right, so make sure that you're thinking about that when you're going through your graphic designs, that you have a little bit of everything for everyone. All right. Now, on Facebook also allows you to promote ads. Again, this is another thing that you can only do on a business page. Business page, fan page, they're the same thing, okay? You can't put an ad on your personal page, all right? And we've had great trainings on Facebook ads earlier, so if you missed that, I'm sorry. But it was, but there's no replay. But the Facebook ads, when you have a boosted ad, when you're paying for those ads, there's restrictions. So say you're on your personal page, I have a little space here, I'm gonna try to draw a little something right here. So this is your ad space, right? So on your personal page, you can have words anywhere. But on a boosted ad, when the one that you're paying, you can only have 20% of the image be text. So you need to make sure that you have 2 different kind of images, things that you're sharing on your wall, which can have anything, but when you have those ads that you're paying for, you want to make sure that you have those laid out the right way. And why do you want to pay for ads? One, it's very inexpensive to pay for. I'm not going to redo the training, but you can direct who's going to see your conversation. So again, when you have the hashtags, you use hashtags on Facebook as well. So your hashtags are going to lead you to a certain audience. As people go on Facebook and are searching, they'll be able to, you can tell Facebook who to show your ad in front of, who to put your ad on their timeline. So that's another advantage of that, all right? You want to make sure you include your registration page Also use the hashtags, and then also switch up the images. All right? So next thing is emails. Now the emails, that's where it gets fun because that takes the most work. All right? And a lot of times people don't want to do that. You know, the people who aren't as creative, maybe you're the person who you have a big event, but you don't know how to word it. You don't know how to convey the message to an audience to move them to action. But the emails are going to be important. We sent out 10 emails. 10 emails. Imagine 10 emails went out just to say, hey, come to Small Business on Fleek, right? So you want to send out 10 emails. And in these emails, what you're doing is you're just having a conversation. Because, again, remember, these emails are going to your email list. So hopefully these are people who ask to be on your list. They're not just emails you grabbed and these are strangers you're talking to. These are people who are following you for a reason. So you want to make this conversational. They don't want you selling to them. They want you to talk to them and show them why this is a benefit, why they should take part in joining your big event. So you want to make your emails conversational. You want to mention the person's name 3 times. Depending on how long your email is, try to get 3 times that you mention their name in there. All right, because people like to hear their name said. Just say your name right now. Just say it out loud. Say your name. I'm going to say mine. Ryan. Man, that sounded good.
Sound like you think about something else. You heard somebody else say that name.
Oh yeah. I love me. So, yeah, I like my name. Everybody loves to hear their name. So when you speak someone else's name, they'll be like, hey, that's me. Now, make sure you know what you're doing in your email, whatever email server you use, because you don't want to, they have the, what are those things called? The merge tags. You don't want to type yours wrong. And when you type in, everyone's different. So it says name, and it tells the email to put the person's name in, but you type it wrong, so they get emails that says, hey, name. Don't do that. Don't do that. That'll get trashed. Don't do that. Make sure you know how to use your email. So again, this is automation. So you don't want to go in and type in everyone's name individually. There's stuff out there that can do that for you. So type the names. You want to have the link to what you want to do, your registration page. You want to have the link in there 3 times. Again, we're talking about getting people, because you don't know, some people skim, some people read the top, some people go straight to the end. You want to have wherever they're going to be, you want to make sure that they're getting the information and the call to action. So as you're asking them, I like to use questions. I'm a more of a cerebral kind of person, so I like to just ask questions to people and say, hey, make you think. And if you're honest with the answers, then, if you say yes to these questions, why are you not going to sign up? Unless, you weren't being honest about it. So think about that when you're doing the emails. Talk to the people in a conversational tone. You want to make sure that you're mentioning them as well. And then you can also put images in there. Depending on your email, sometimes you can put the images in there as well. But again, this is just the contacts that you want to make sure that you're reaching out to people. This is all before they've even signed up. All right. Now we have 10 on here. Depending on how far in advance you do it, you're sending these out, you may add more emails because you'll put out your blitz. We'll do the social media blitz, the promo blitz. But if there's a lag between that time and the actual event, you may add some more emails in there to make sure that, hey, people are really responding. Find your most popular of the 10 and resend them. You don't have to always type them over. Just resend those emails again. And maybe this time they'll open it by accident before they actually delete, oh no, another email from, so you never know which one's going to get through, right? LinkedIn. LinkedIn is, we use that because you can send a couple of posts to LinkedIn and make sure that, again, you're not leaving anything unturned. LinkedIn has a whole different kind of clientele. If you're looking for speakers, if you're looking for professional organizations and things like that, going to LinkedIn, it gets rid of a lot of the other noise people will have on a Facebook or on a Twitter. All right, so it's more focused in that area. So using LinkedIn, we'll go ahead and send out some things on LinkedIn as well. Then tweet, chat, and blog. When Vanessa comes, I'm going to have her explain some more about those. But this is, again, just interaction. If you have a blog, why would you not promote your event on your blog, right? You can talk about, but here's the thing. When you're talking about it, when you're blogging about it, don't blog from a perspective of, hey, here's my event I'm having, come on out. Try something like blogging an interview with one of your speakers. Interview one of your speakers and have that as the blog. And at the end, it's like, hey, you want to know more? Come to Small Business on Fleek and meet this person. Or, you're talking about a problem. You're addressing a problem. Why don't more small business, why do 90% of small businesses fail in the first 5 years? You write the article. One, it positions you as an expert because now you're a writer. But then at the end, hey, we're going to answer those questions at Small Business on Fleek. It's that way you're not selling. you're positioning yourself as the expert, and that way people are going to want to follow you and find out what's going on. All right. Then the tweet chat. This is a conversation. You want to create conversation around it. There's nothing more exciting than getting around a group of people all focused on the same thing. Does that make sense? When you can get around people all talking about the same thing, you have no choice but to fall in line. Whether it's a business event, whether it's a TV show, how many of us have TV shows that we don't even like or watch, but you find yourself caught up when everyone else is talking about it. Thursday night, I don't even go on Facebook because I know everybody's going to talk about scandal. I don't want to hear it no more, right? So, but it's the power of that conversation that gets everyone talking. And that's what we're doing in the promos. It's to get people excited and move them onto the registration page. I'm going to bring Trevor back up because he's going to walk us through the registration part of what we want once they go. I'll write for you while you talk, unless you want to do it yourself.
Okay.
But we want to talk about the registration page and what happens once we bring people into the register. We've got them excited. They finally come in. They click the link. Now they want to register.
Okay. So first, let's add a couple of bonuses here.
All right.
Okay. So we have these. We have these tweets. We have 10 tweets. Write this down. You want to write this down in your little box. You want to have 10 tweets, eight Facebook posts, right? You want to have the emails, right? You want to have 2 LinkedIn posts. You want to have the tweet chat. You want to have the blog, right? The thing that we're missing, and I just want to add this, is we also wrote events, or we wrote emails for people we wanted to share out about our event, power partners, affiliates, ambassadors. So some of these same emails, these 10, we repurposed them so that others who were affiliated with us could send it, okay? We did the same with some of the Facebook posts, okay? Couple of small notes about the email. You want to use the name of the person, the merge tag in the subject line. Use it in the subject line, okay? Use the name of the person who you're sending the email to in the subject line by using a merge field. In the body of the email, try to use their name at least 2 to 3 times. And this was one of the keynotes that Ryan was mentioning. He said, hey, use their name. Listen, a person comes to a subconscious state of attention when they hear their name, because you know that whatever you hear after the use of your name is for you. So use people's names. Otherwise, they don't feel like it's for what? Them. Everybody get that? Mm-hmm. Right. Now, there's some other things, because remember, all we're trying to do with these promo emails is drive people to this registration page. Everybody get that? All we're trying to do is drive them to the registration page. But I want to put up here like a little bonus box, little bonus box like here. We need a little space in it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now, here's the thing. And I just posted something very special in the group, and I posted some of our secret stuff. Vanessa's going to kill me, but Vanessa, I posted some of our secret stuff. Now, being that we're trying to drive traffic here, right? There is organic traffic that we're using with our promo copy. And then there is paid traffic. Let's draw an arrow here.
This way?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Bonus. I just posted it in the group. And by paid traffic, what I would do is I like to run some paid advertisements. I like to run Pinterest ads, because most people don't use Pinterest as an advertising platform, but they have a paid ad system. I like to use LinkedIn ads, not a little bit, because they can be a little pricey. Here's a big bonus. Y'all ready for this one? If you're ready, say I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I don't know about that. If you're ready, say I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I don't know about that one. I don't know about that. I'm going to come back to that one.
Let's keep it for us.
I'm going to say one more time. If you're ready, say I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, I believe that you're ready. I had to hear the people in the online world too, see? Okay, so did you type in I'm ready? Did you type in I'm ready? Are you ready? Are you really ready? Okay, just checking. All right, so listen, SlideShare. SlideShare, paid SlideShare ads. Look, the number one thing that people want from the conference is, I hate when they ask me, can I get your slide deck? I used to hate it because I was doing, can you get my slide deck? No, you can't get my slide deck. But I've come around. I've had an epiphany.
Uh-oh.
So now what I do is, yeah, you can get the slide deck. Because basically what we do is we have our presenters turn their slide decks in before the event, right? We get their permission. Not everybody's going to give it to you. And then we put it in the SlideShare and say, hey, this is what you're going to be learning at the event. And they click through it, right? SlideShare, for most of you who don't realize, SlideShare got bought out by LinkedIn. And what they did is they started turning those slides because the reason why they got bought out is because SlideShare wasn't making any money. So LinkedIn bought them out. And then what they did was created a platform that allowed people to collect information. So now when you're in SlideShare, you can click through people's slides, and then you'll start to see opt-in forms in the middle of the slides that people can fill out. And those people are putting their presentations online. You're seeing the slides, and then you click the opt-in form to basically get onto the person's list. SlideShare, I'm telling you what your competition is not doing. So I said I would give you that secret sauce, right? This is what your competition is not doing, right? And it doesn't have to be a long slide, maybe 10, 20 slides. So you want to run SlideShare ads, okay? Paid SlideShare ads, and they're very cheap, very easy to do. And the next one is paid YouTube ads, paid YouTube ads. Lyric talked yesterday about YouTube advertisements. If you missed it, well, I suggest you just follow up with her and connect with her. Paid Facebook ads. Paid Facebook ads. Paid Twitter ads. Another one of my favorite, paid Instagram ads. Right? You can advertise now on Instagram. And then last but not least, paid retargeting ads. Okay? On all of the platforms. Now let's just talk about that for just a second. I know that many of you know what retargeting is, but there are a few out there who may not. Just to make it very simple, I go to Amazon.com. I go check out this movie called Pay It Forward. I don't buy the movie because I get interrupted. I was getting ready to buy it. I was getting ready to click on it, but the phone rang. And then I said, I'm going to buy it after the phone rang. But after the phone rang, somebody knocked on my door. And then eventually when I got back to the computer, I forgot what I was on there looking for to begin with. And so I closed it. Later on that day, I opened up Facebook.com, and all of a sudden, while I'm being nosy to check out what my friends was doing, right, I see an ad on the side that is for that same movie that I was just getting ready to buy. And I said, oh, I was just getting ready to buy that. How did they know? And I think about clicking it, but I don't do it because I'm busy being nosy. But later on, I decide that I want to go ahead and listen to some smooth jams, right? So I go on over to YouTube. Smooth jams. I'm over 40, my man.
Me too.
Smooth jams,
me
man.
too.
Smooth. I'm grown up
right,
here.
R&B.
I listen to smooth jams.
Right,
I don't
right.
want to go down in the DM.
No.
I'm grown, y'all. Hashtag Trevor's grown.
No DM. We write letters. We don't no DM, right? We still write letters.
Oh, you write letters.
Right.
Oh,
No.
you want to write some letters, Ryan?
Yeah, well, I shouldn't have said that.
Oh, you want some poetry? Is there
got-
something you want to tell us about?
Yeah,
Ladies,
that's
I think
old
you wrote some poetry to your wife. Go ahead, tell us the truth. Tell us
I'm
the
gonna
truth.
have to now. I'm gonna have to now because if she's saying this, I'm gonna have to
wrote
write
some
one
love
down.
letters.
All right, I'm gonna write one down. So you took me back. You took me back. That was old me. That was old me. I'm
Brother
sorry.
to the max, love
I'm sorry.
Jones.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Right.
So with the retargeting ads, I go on to YouTube and all of a sudden I see a video for the same movie. I try to watch some other music, but before they let me see the music, they show me an ad. And it's an ad for something I just visited. And you can retarget on Facebook, and you can retarget on Twitter, and you can retarget on YouTube. And so here's the point, is that if anybody visits your registration page, everybody who visits your registration page is not going to what? They ain't going to register. So the first thing you need on your registration page is a retargeting pixel. Now you need 3 types of retargeting pixels on your registration page, okay? You need a FB or a Facebook retargeting pixel. You need a Twitter retargeting pixel, and you need a YouTube retargeting pixel. That way, if you visit my page and you don't register, no worries. You're going to see me again on Facebook. You're going to see me again on YouTube, right? And you're going to see me again on Twitter. You're going to keep seeing me. And so one of the things that we are noticing now when people are doing their registration pages is they are forgetting to put the pixel on there. They are assuming that if somebody gets onto the registration page, that the person is going to automatically register, and that's not true, okay? Most people are not impulse buyers, okay? The second thing about the registration page, almost immediately what you want to add to your registration page is you want what's called write this down, you want a sticky navigation bar. This is what goes on the registration page. Because we've done all this work here. All of this work is to drive them to one place. What's that one place we want to take them to? The registration page, right? So they can do what? So they can register, okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and pull up our registration page real quick. And everybody can just do this right now. You just go to smallbizonfleek.com. I'm going to go ahead and type it in right now. I'm going to pull it up on my trusty iPhone. I don't know what other phone somebody would get out there, right? Now, there are a couple of key things that you will notice on the registration page, right? And this is the anatomy part of a registration page for a big event. The very first thing that you want to do is you want to have a countdown timer, right? One of the things that you want to do on the registration page is you want to create what we call a sense of urgency, okay? A sense of urgency. So what happens is, you know, a lot of times what we put on the page is the event is on, let's say, July 10th, 2019. This is what we put on the page, right? Now what people see is, I got to July 19th. And they take their time. But instead of this event is on July 19th, the first thing that they should see is, you know, how many days, seconds, minutes, and hours to the upcoming event. It's a tick down time. Does anybody remember this show? I don't know if you remember this show. There was this show, this guy was named Jack Bauer. Jack Bauer used to save the world. See, that was my show. See, that's when TV was real. Forget Scandal, bring back 24, bring back Jack. He could save the world. You know, he was better than MacGyver. I know MacGyver could save the world with a paper clip. My man Jack Bauer could save the world in 24 hours. You know, what do you want? Okay, back to this regularly scheduled program. So that on 24, the show would always start down with this tick down, like beep, 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 beep. You're like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Oh, the show's going to start. I could be 3 rooms away. I would hear that.
Yeah, that, you run into the TV.
And I had DVR. That's the problem. So I had DVR, and I'm still running back to the room because that tick down created a sense of urgency. And even though I knew that I could DVR and watch it later, that, you know, the thing that was phenomenal about 24 is in the era of DVR, the majority of the people watched it at that hour. They were like, I can't miss 24. I mean, people would break their necks to 20. You wanna know why? Because that tick down timer created a sense of urgency, okay? So the first thing you want on your registration page is you need them to be urgent. You need a sense of urgency about the fact that this is an event that can change their life, change their business, change their health. Good God, it can change something. So you wanna have immediately a tick down timer. Now, do you want to have the date of the event? Yeah, but not before the tick down time. Does everybody got that? Now, if you're on smallbizonfleek.com, you'll see that now. In addition to that, I recommend on your registration page, add either an audio track or a video track. Maybe it can be about the event, but sometimes it just may be a presentation that somebody gave before related to your industry that may just motivate them. Everybody get that? Now, here's the thing. The next thing you want to do is you want to have a minimum of 5 to 7 call to actions on your registration page. So what you want to do is you want to talk, call to action, talk, call to action, talk, call to action. Everybody get that? Okay, now, what I want you to do is, most of us, when we think of call to action, what we really are thinking about is put the opt-in box there. And that's really not the first decision that you want a person to make. What you want to do is you want to have your call to action. Click here to register now. Click here to get started now. Click here to change your destiny. Click here to lock in your VIP status. Whatever that's going to be. Everybody get that? Now, the reason why you do that, the reason why you want to do that on the registration page is first they just click to make a decision. They ain't got to give no information up. All they got to do is click to make a decision. We can all click. Click here to get started. Click. We've made our first decision, haven't we? Right. Now, when they click, your opt-in box pops in or pops up. This is very key. This is key. Everybody get that?
See, how many times you see registration pages with the opt-in boxes already on there, People skip right through it.
Yeah, not on your first page.
Right.
Not on your first page. You don't want to do that. You're dead on the money. So you really want to pop in opt-in form. Now, here's the thing. If your event, it has a sale associated with it, meaning they have to buy a ticket. Everybody get that? Don't put the price on the initial registration page. Don't put the price on the initial registration page. So they click, they say, I want to attend the event. Click, opt-in box pops up, and they fill it out. When they fill it out, then they go to the checkout page. This is where we have paid events. Then they go to the what page? Checkout page. Now, why is this the case? The reason why this is the case is that there may be people who want to attend your event, but didn't have the money at that moment. Didn't have their credit card handy. Anybody ever want to do something, you're like, didn't have my credit card, I'll get to it later, then you forget about it? So what you want to do is collect their information first. People pay you first with their what?
Information.
Second with their?
Action.
Third with their?
Money.
Information, action, money. If you take it out of order, you cut your revenue by 80%. Now here's what happens. If they register for the event, but all of a sudden go to the checkout and don't pay, you still have the information of people who were interested but just didn't pay. And now you can run what's called an abandoned cart sequence. What is an abandoned cart? Somebody who was about to pay, but they didn't pay, and now you want to connect back to them. Hey, I saw you were thinking about registering for the event. Is there anything I can do to help you? Everybody get that? So never ever put the price on the registration page. Don't do this. It's lazy, and your conversion rate will suck. So let's get back to this registration page. On the registration page, most people want to talk about the speakers that are going to be there. There's always a headline. So if you got a headline, put them there. But do you know what people primarily care about? They actually care about the topics that are going to be spoken on.
That's right.
Most people advertise the celebrity and forget to advertise the topics. Wow. Especially in the personal and professional development space, it's not a lot of people showing up to see a celebrity.
Right.
A lot of times they're showing up for what can I get from this. So you want to create very sexy titles. Every topic, have all your speakers submit their titles, what they're going to be, and then go back and sexy up the titles. So you got to make sure your titles and your topics are sexy, okay?
Now, how many titles should we have this registration page?
I would say I would never do more than my top 10 topics.
Okay.
Okay? I like 5, but never more than my top 10 topics. Now, if you're going to list your speakers on your page, make sure to add their social media connection information. So if you can connect by Facebook or Twitter, so all of your speakers have them submit, hey, here's my Facebook handle, here's my Twitter handle, here's my LinkedIn handle. You want to know why? Because your people are going to go look and see who these people are. And so when they go look to see who these people are and they go look to try to connect with them, you've done the work for them, so all they got to do is click on it, and now it creates a greater incentive to actually attend the conference. Everybody got that? These are just some of the things that you want there, okay? Last but not least, and I know we've talked about it, but it's this sticky navigation bar. If you look at smallbizonfleek.com and you go in there from your website, right? One of the things that you see is that no matter where you scroll on the page, you scroll up, you keep scrolling, that little bar at the bottom stays there. It's a call to action bar that stays there. So no matter where they are on the page, they can always register, because you never know what's the one thing that they read and say, oh, I gotta go, click. So you want a sticky navigation bar no matter where they go on the page. Everybody get that? All right, last thing, make sure that your registration page is mobile optimized. Make sure that your registration page is mobile optimized. All right, couple of small notes. You don't need to write that on here, but your registration should speak to a couple things people always forget. We assume that people know who this event is for. So you gotta say who your event is for on the registration page. Who is this event for? What are the top 3 benefits that people should expect for attending this conference? What are the top 3 benefits? What are the top 3 benefits of a person attending this conference? Who is it for? What are the top 3 benefits? And then, most important of all, why are you doing the conference? Start with why. Why are you doing the conference? All of these things make up the components of a good registration page. Now, I recommend, because of all of the different components, I recommend that when you're doing a registration page for an event, I recommend that you do a custom page so that you can add in all of the subtle things that, that really make an event pop. So that's the registration page. Everybody got that? So let's assume that they registered, okay? So we've driven all this traffic to this registration page. We got our retargeting pixels, our YouTube retargeting pixel, our Facebook retargeting pixel, our Twitter retargeting pixel. If they visit this page, I'm coming to visit them. If they visit this page, I'm coming to visit them. Special note about the retargeting pixel. Yes, ma'am.
Is there a retargeting pixel for LinkedIn?
I'm not 100% sure. I know they were working on one, but I'm going to probably assume that they do have one.
The question for those who are watching was there a retargeting pixel for LinkedIn?
Yeah, but the reason why we don't do so much LinkedIn advertising, because LinkedIn can, in some ways, be prohibitively expensive for marketing for an event. And unless it's an event that you're going to be charging a high dollar amount for, meaning like $5,000, $10,000, you know, I would kind of, if I may run 1 or 2, but not a lot. But because they own SlideShare, I would probably put my efforts on the SlideShare ads, okay? And the other ones do not, okay? So, and we found that the retargeting on those 3 platforms generate a lot of traffic. And one, because when people are looking for stuff on YouTube, or they you know, a lot of times people look for, like, let's say, you might go to YouTube and type in how to be healthy. And if you're having a health conference, you want your video to pop up about this health conference that you have coming up. And so same on Facebook, where there's a lot of interaction. So we found that between Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, you can really knock it out the park. You got it? Now, let's go over to this next page called the, one other small note about the retargeting. Everybody understands how retargeting works, right? Okay, with the retargeting, remember that you only want to retarget them if they visited your registration page and they didn't register. So if they didn't register, then you want to keep showing them ads about the conference. Everybody get that? Mm-hmm. If they did register, what do you show them? You can still retarget people who registered, but you show them something different, so you're not preaching to the choir. So if you are targeting somebody who registered already, you may show them an ad for a VIP pass, an upsell product. You may show them an ad. You may start to, this is, I should not be teaching this, but I did this to some of y'all already. Some of y'all don't even realize why y'all texted in. Some of y'all don't realize why y'all texted in to buy some of the products y'all bought, even while y'all were here at the conference.
You sure you want to do this?
Yeah, I know. Let me tell you what we did. You registered for the conference, and what we started doing is we started showing you ads for products that we knew that we would offer at the conference. You didn't know they were associated with the conference, so we just planted them in your social media feeds. We planted them. You started seeing them when you went to Facebook. You started seeing them when you went on Twitter. You started seeing them when you went on YouTube. So you were already predisposed that when you heard the ad from the stage, that you said, I think I want to do that. And I don't know if you've seen that movie Focus, but it's starting to plant.
Yep.
And some of you don't start to plant. You don't start to seed until you get to the stage. You don't start to plant until they walk in the door. You're not planting. And see, what's happening is you're trying to harvest without planting. And that's the problem. And so you got to learn how to actually seed in advance. So if they registered, use your retargeting to seed the products and the services that you're going to be offering to individuals so they can invest in themselves and invest in their businesses at the level at which they expect results. Because most people are not impulse buyers, right? And so typically we've been told that they need to hear something 6 or 7 times. Here's the thing. We don't start telling them the 6 or 7 times until after they get to the event.
Right.
When you can start telling them 6 or 7 times before they ever even arrive.
Right.
This is my behind the scenes secret technique. So some of you don't even realize that a lot of marketing is psychological. And seeding. And I write that down in the group right now. I must seed my product. If they register, you don't even have to say that the product is a part of that event. Just start showing them, like, I've been saying that. Oh, I heard about the Business Booster Boot Camp. I heard about the group makeover. I heard about that YouTube marketing class. I heard about that. And you want to do that. So on your registration page, you got really 2 types of pixeling ads. Ad for people who didn't register, ad for people who did register, right? The ad for people who did register should be an ad that should represent a product that they can do what? Purchase. And that could be an upsell product, or that can be a product that you plan on offering at the event. Everybody get that? Yes. You gotta plant before you what? Harvest. Everybody get that? Now, they got.
I hate to cut you off. We'll give a last chance to go ahead and get this worksheet. We'll need this space in a second, I feel like.
Oh, yeah, we're going to need that space.
Here's your last chance. Text in 240, text in the word big event, one word, 240-428-6333. We're going to send you your notes. This is where you can put your notes, all right? You're going to get this sheet sent to you.
Make sure no recording devices on.
That's right.
None.
Last call. I'm erasing this right now. Last call. 240.
Yep.
428-6333.
Text big event.
All right. It's gone.
Okay. It's going down on the whiteboard. All right. All right. So now they registered. And they go to this thank you page. Okay? Now, when they get to this thank you page, you want to say, thank you for attending. But this is the chance to give them some value. Get them excited. So, hey, by the way, thank you for attending. Be sure to check your email. But I use the thank you page as an opportunity to offer them my first gift from the conference. So what I do is I list out, hey, here is my digital conference swag bag. Everybody should have write that down. I need a digital conference swag bag. So in other words, it's a swag bag that has all digital products in it, okay? And I basically say, hey, by the way, here's some things I want to give to you before you attend the event. Some things that's going to help you prepare. Everybody get that? Okay. Now, the things that I'm going to give you that are going to help you prepare. It could be a blog. It could be it could be an assessment. It can be an audio. It can be a video. But make it sexy. Now listen. Don't throw your whack video up there without some type of packaging. Don't throw just, your list up there without some type of packaging. You want to get whatever the gift is, you want to sexy it up. You got to make sure you make it nice and sexy so it looks appealing enough to make sure somebody actually wants the gift. Now we say, look, we want to give you all of these things. But to get these things, we need you to take some action. Okay? And so what we built was what we call a reward system. So we didn't just give them one gift. We didn't give them just 2 gifts. We didn't give them just 3 gifts. We basically had 5 different gifts that they could get. And we said, all you got to do, the only thing you got to do to get this gift, by the way, do this right now. Go register at smallbizonfleek.com. Even if you've already registered, do it again and watch what happens. Just do it. Do it now. Register at smallbizonfleek.com. And as soon as it takes you to the registration page, you're going to see all these gifts. And it's going to say, look, to get these gifts, it's like a reward system, like the airlines. You need a certain amount of points. 5 points gets you gift number 1. 10 points gets you gift number 2. 20 points gets you gift number 3. The gifts get better and better. Everybody get that? The gifts get better and better. Now, to get the points, because the question is, how do I get these points? If 5 points gets me gift number 1, 10 points gets me gift number 2, 20 points gets me gift number 3, so forth and so on. Well, how do I get the points? That's a reasonable question, right? Mm-hmm. Well, you get the points by sharing out to others about this event. Now, I always make the first gift easy to get. So basically, if you just share it out to about three different platforms on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, things that most people normally have, right? If you just share it out, you automatically get enough points to get the first gift. Everybody get that? Okay, now, because it's a reward-based system, when they first share it out, they get points just for sharing it out, okay? But they get additional gifts. They get additional gifts when their friends who they shared it out to registered. So Aisha or Talia, if you shared this out on your Facebook page, Talia. Right, thank you for that correction. She was giving me the look like,
I know.
It was the look.
It only took me one time to mess it up. I knew what it was.
And what was it again?
Talia.
Talia.
Long A.
Talia. Hashtag it's Talia, y'all. Right? So Talia, if you shared it out, I would give you about 3 to 5 points just for sharing it out. But now, if somebody that you shared it out to registered, I might give you 5 additional points for each registration, which makes it easier for you to get to some of the bigger gifts. See, you only get like 1 or 2 points for just sharing it. But when somebody you shared it to registers, I give you additional points. And the more points you get, the better gifts you get. All the way up to what we gave away was the Apple Watch, which is the person who had the most points, we gave them an Apple Watch. So what we did was we had a competition and a reward system built into our thank you page. A competition and a reward system built into the thank you page. A competition and a reward system built into the thank you page. Now, here's the reason why this works, is that your reward system is just like the airlines. You want to reward behavior that's beneficial to the company. And the more of that behavior that is going on, the more you want to reward it, because you want to incentivize behavior that's beneficial to the company. So what you want to do in this situation is you want to incentivize behavior that's beneficial to the event so they keep doing it. Can you get somebody to share it one time? Yeah, you can get somebody to share it one time. But the trick is not can you get them to share it one time, can you get them to say it 2 times, and 3 times, and 4 times? Can you turn these people into promoters? How do you turn? See, I don't know about you, but back in the days, I used to go to the club, right? I used to go to the club. I used to slide in on, 9th and East Street. I used to slide into the club. See, I'm from D.C. So,
I'm from Baltimore.
See, you don't know about 9th and East.
I don't know about 9th and East. Nope,
right?
nope.
But don't worry. See, some of y'all trying to go back, put your heels back in the closet, put your jacket back in the closet. We're not going to the club tonight. But they had event promoters. And I used to see them nuts putting that stuff on my car, and I used to see them nuts handing that stuff out, and I was like, them people are motivated. And I said, man, how can I get people motivated like that for my event? And I realized it was very simple. They weren't putting it out for their health. They got paid to do it. They were incentivized to do it. And so what you got to do is you got to figure out how to use your thank you page. See, you're thinking it's to say thank you. I'm thinking I'm trying to get me some digital promoters. I need some digital event promoters for my event. How many of y'all would like to have a few digital event promoters? So on your thank you page, with the system that you can use to turn people into digital event promoters. How many of y'all want the secret tool? You want the secret tool? Say, Trevor, I want the secret tool. Type it into the group. I'll wait. Until I see people say, I want the secret tool, I'm not going to do it. Just not going to do it. Not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
No, we'll wait. Who's in the group? We need somebody to tell us.
Just check it. Just
check.
I say, Trevor, I want the secret tool. I'm going to tell you where to go get it at.
You didn't give it. You've given up so many secrets already.
I gave up my secret psychological seeding technique. But let me give them the tool. The tool is called the Hummingbird Lead System. It's called the Hummingbird Lead System. It's a competition and reward system. Now, here's the thing. I also have built-in rewards. So I had the gifts that they get just for getting the points. But I created a competitive environment by basically saying the top person is going to get an amazing gift. And I usually create gifts for the top 3. So for one person, it's like the person who has the most people registered, they're going to get, let's just say, a MacBook Pro. The person that's in position 2, they're going to get an Apple Watch. And the person that's in position 3, they're going to get a $100 Amazon gift certificate.
Wow.
So everybody's going to get a gift.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you want to reward your top ambassadors, digital event promoters. Now, if you just did this, if you just did this right here, if you just did this, if you just did this right here, you would already have 10 times the registrations that you had at your last event. You'd already have far more registrations just by dealing with this part of it. Now, the 2-day big event blueprint, and I'm going to bring up, Vanessa Collins, but it's a 14-part automation sequence. Now, by the way, once this stuff is built, it's running on automatic pilot. That's why it's called no labor. So with that being said, I think it's time for us to bring up
Yes, it is.
none other than the Vanessa Collins. So Vanessa, go ahead and take it away.
All right, mic check, mic check. Okay. I want to just add one thing to this beginning part, because I know for a lot of you, you're thinking, that's a whole lot of work, Trevor. That's a lot of work. But if you are having an event, do not be afraid to ask your speakers to help you with this part. Now, for our event here, every speaker that you saw that took the floor, they had to do some work. They had to do some of this labor right here. They had to write some emails. They had to do some Facebook posts. Trevor always says that the answer to who does not always have to be you. Get some help. Now that we have the promos out there, we have them registered, they have their thank you page, now we want to keep them engaged. And so this very first email goes out immediately. This goes out immediately. And the purpose of this email is just to let them know, one, that they registered. You acknowledge the fact that they're registered. How many times have you registered for something and you wonder, did that registration really go through? Did that really, did it really go through?
What is that?
Immediately. It goes out immediately.
The next, what Vanessa's going to be walking you through in that sequence, this is the voice of God speaking again, but pay attention to when these are going out, because what she's showing now is what happens after a person registers. See, we did a lot of work to get them to register, but after they register, that's when the real work starts. And so it is a combination of timing and information. Timing and information. So one of the things that you want to do is pay close attention to the timing of what is going to happen after a person registers. I'll turn it back over to you, Vanessa.
Okay. A couple of other things you want to add into this email. You want to let them know that they'll be getting some free gifts. And this is to let people know that you are about to start an engagement process and you want them to open their emails from you. So you're letting them know, listen, we have 6 free gifts for you. So I want you to keep your eye on your email. You also want to invite them to your Facebook group. If you do not have a Facebook group for your event, start a Facebook group for your event. Start the conversation early. So you want to invite them to that. You also want to give them some benefits to come to the conference. Now, this got them on your list, and this is huge. But a lot of times we get people on the list and then we drop them. We don't do anything else with them. We don't engage. So we have them on the list, but they don't come to the event, or we don't follow up with them later. So we got them on the list. We have these emails. Now, emails 2 through 7.
Let me interrupt you for just a second there. People are asking, I did not tell them where to get the secret tool from. It's the Hummingbird lead system. And you can just tag Taria Hodge and say, hey, I need the secret tool, and she'll reach out to you. Just tag Taria Hodge, and she will get the secret tool over to you. Also, Vanessa, on that first email, this is the time when you want to introduce your event coordinator. People like getting emails that are more personalized. So it's like, hi, this is Vanessa. I'm the event coordinator for this year's blank, blank, blank conference. And I just wanted to introduce myself. So make it a very personal feeling letter so that when people come in, like, oh, hi, Vanessa, you're the one that's been emailing me. So that is the time when you introduce, hi, my name is blank. I'm the event coordinator for the event. I like to just reach out to people and personally touch them whenever possible. And just want to say, hey, I'm looking forward to seeing you at the event. If you need any help, just feel free to email me, reach out to me, because I'm just available to make this event really an amazing experience for you. So make sure you introduce, use that as an opportunity to introduce the event coordinator.
And let me tell you, that was so effective, it was crazy. People found me on Facebook, they emailed me. When people came to the event, they came to find me because this was really effective. So don't forget that part. Okay, email number 2 goes out on day 1, and it delivers the first gift. Now, these 6 emails are going to follow the same format. It's going to tell them who this gift is for. It is going to tell them what the gift is about, and it's going to give them 3 benefits for the gift. Yes, ma'am.
Day 1 of the event?
No, day 1 of when they register. So this is the email sequence for when they register. So if you registered on April 18th, which is when we launched this, on April 18th, you received 2 emails. Immediately after you registered, within the first 15 minutes, you got an email that said, thank you for your registration. Here's more information about the conference. Here's benefits and all of that. A couple of hours later, you got the first gift email. In this email, again, you want to include the person's name, and you want to, in the subject line, tell them the problem that your gift is solving.
So write that down on your pages. Write that down as day 1 after registration. So it's the day after registration. So if they register today, then tomorrow they're going to get an email. So day 1, yeah. So she said the same thing, that if you're going to get an email when you immediately register, because people need that, that's confirmation. Mm-hmm. And then the very next day, day 1, you're going to get another email. Day 1 after registration. Everybody get that?
So it's 24 hours after registration.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. But just label it as day 1, because everything starts from that day. And the reason why I want you specifically to label it as day 1 is because when you are dealing with your autoresponders, your autoresponders are not saying 24 hours. They're saying day 1, day 2, day 3, okay? So label it as day 1 because this will be really critical for your autoresponders, okay?
All right. Email number 3 goes out on day 2. This delivers your second gift. And again, you're following the same format. Listen, it takes as much work to give something to somebody as it does to sell something to somebody. So do not assume that just because it's a free gift that people are going to automatically open it. You have to tell them what the benefit is. What is it that this gift is going to do for me? And this is going to help establish credibility for your event. It's going to make people think, wow, I really need to be there.
And one other side note is, because I know you guys are thinking to yourself, well, they get gifts from the thank you page. The thank you page gifts are in a reward system that's really for those people who are really a little bit competitive and have the consistency necessary to really go after the points. But there are some people who, they're just not going to do that. They want immediate reward. And so these gifts, day 1 gifts, day 2 gifts, the different gifts. Remember she talked about the 6 gifts that they're going to get to check their emails? These gifts that they're getting, they click on the link to get the gift in the email. But when they click on the link, it takes them to a page that says, first, share this out to get this amazing gift. So every time they get a gift, it is in exchange. We're giving something of value in exchange for something of value. They hit share, they get the gift. They hit share, they get the workbook. They hit share, they get the audio. So there's all of these series of different gifts. But they don't just get the gift. The gift is in, it is a reward for an action taken. The universe rewards those people who take action differently than those people who do not. So we want to reward those action takers, okay? So the day 1 gift, they get it. The email tells them about the benefit of the gift. It tells them about how to get the gift. When they get to the page, it shows them a picture, a pretty graphic of the gift, and then they click it. And when they click to get the gift, it says, hey, share it. And as soon as you share it, you're going to immediately get this gift. I turn it back over to you, Vanessa.
All right.
Yes.
So the reward and competition gifts are the first, what are those, 5 gifts?
On the thank you page, the reward and competition
Right,
gifts.
and then these are
6 additional gifts.
6 additional gifts, but they don't have a reward.
Right, it's not a reward system. It's just immediate.
It's just
You share, you get it.
okay, but still share and get it.
Yeah, you share and get it. So the question was that the first set of gifts, that's the 5 gifts for the reward or the competition system. That's 5 gifts, and then you have 6 additional gifts for your email series. So that gives you a total of 11 gifts for your event, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so they just have a different access point. One is points based, and those are some of your best gifts. And then the other one is the gifts they get. So it's called a share gate. And basically they share, they get the gifts. They share, they get the gifts. So we refer to them as your share gate gifts. And the system that we use for that, just so you know, the gifting system for that, the competition system is Hummingbird. The ShareGate system is Jupiter PR. You can just tag @Taria Hodge in the Facebook group and she can get you some information about it.
Okay. All right, so when we get to email number 5, we jump to day 7. So when they first register these first 4 days, they're getting an email every day. And then we give them a break. Day 5, email number 5, they get that on day 7. We then skip a few more days. Email number 6, they get that on day 10. And then our final gift email is on day 14. So you realize you can't run this system at the last minute. You need to run this at least 30 to 45 days before your event. So this covers the first 2 weeks after launching your event and registering.
So day 3, the third gift is on which day?
Day 2. The third gift is on day 3. Yes.
Okay,
The fourth gift is day 7.
fourth gift is on day 7. Fifth gift.
Day 10. And then your final gift is on day 14. Now we jump into a different series of emails, which is to remind them about the event. So
and, I'm getting a note. Can you repeat the gift days again?
Okay, gift days. Day 1 or day 1 after registration. Day 2, day 3, day 7, day 10, and day 14.
Gotcha. Now, the reason why you're doing that also is that you're breaking the gifts up over really a 2-week period so people don't really forget about your event. And so notice that it was immediate, day 1, day 2, day 3. They get hyped. Oh, this is great, this is great, this is great. And then we kind of spread them out, day 7, day 10, day 14. What you're trying to do is maintain their interest over a long period of time. Does that make sense for everybody? Because sometimes we get interested in stuff and we just fall off. Haven't you had people register for your webinars and event and then all of a sudden it just no-go to just what happened to them? So you got to maintain their interest.
All right, now we want to start reminding them about your event. So email number 8 goes out 3 days before your event. And of course, this is reminding them of the date and time. How many times have you registered for an event, registered for a webinar, registered for something, was really hyped about it? You really wanted to come, but you forgot about it. You didn't set it in your calendar and something else happened and you missed it. So we want to make sure that we remind them. So day 8, 3 days before, we're sending them an email. We're letting them know the date and time. And now we're going to start talking about some of the individual things that's going to happen at the conference. So for this email, you're going to pick one of your best topics and talk about the benefits of them attending to hear that topic. Day 9 is 1 day before the event. And again, it's basically the same thing. You're letting them remember, you're reminding them, hey, tomorrow is the big day. And you're having the hype. You are being excited. Because if you're not excited about your event, nobody else is going to be excited about your event. So you want to hype it up. Day 10, or email 10, 3 hours before your event. I know you think this is a whole lot of reminding, but as you heard and as you know, you're business owners. Things happen. Have you ever gotten up in the morning and said, listen, today I'm gonna tune into this event. I'm gonna tune into that event. You woke up with all the great intentions, and then along with being a CEO, some of your other titles popped in. Mom EO, and Dad EO, and Job EO, and the basement flooded, and this happened. All this other stuff happens, and you can forget an event that you really wanted to attend. So you want to have that in there. Email 11 is 15 minutes before the event. Now, I hate to admit this because I like to think that I'm on top of things, but when you get over 40, over 45, over 50, you can forget stuff really quickly. You can really forget stuff quickly. So even though an hour before you remembered that you wanted to go to this conference, if the phone rings and you have a fire to put out in your business or someone is talking to you, if you're not getting that reminder, that 15-minute reminder, you'll miss it. I want to skip a little bit to some of these other emails, and we have them numbered a little differently. But we have an extra 4 emails that go to people who are attending your event live. Now, if you are having an event that is just virtual, then you may not need these other emails. But if you're having an event that is both virtual and live, the people who have signed up for your event live need some additional information. So when the live people register, they're going to get this email that everybody got, but they're going to also get another email that gives them information about the live event. Like, where is it? How's the parking? If I'm flying in, where do I fly into? Is there hotel information? Is there a block hotel information? What's the venue? All of that information you need. So we have special emails for when they register immediately. We have another one 3 days before the event. Again, giving them the same information. We have one the day before the event, giving them the same information. How many times have you got ready to leave the house and you're thinking, oh my goodness, I don't know where I'm going? And if you have to search through your emails, and if you're a typical business owner, you get 200 or 300 emails a day. Trying to look at yesterday's email to find out what the address is, yeah, you need some help. So that's our job, is to help them come to our event. And then the last one is 7 a.m. the day of the event. You want to give them that information again. So this covers the 15 emails that go out to people who register before your event happens. Now, your event is going on. And this is critical if you are having an online event. The emails don't stop. The promotion doesn't stop. Because when you're having a virtual event, people can come and go at any time. I mean, they could do that in a live event also, but in a virtual event, people are more likely to come and go. So you want to give them emails all during your event. So our next email is 4 hours into the event. And that says, hey, guess what? We're here. We're started. Things are happening. Again, it has to be high energy. It has to tell them where they can click to attend your event and letting them know, hey, you need to be here. This is for a 2-day event. So at 9 a.m. on day 2, you're saying, hey, guess what? We're still here. We had some awesome things happen on yesterday. And if you are monetizing your event by selling the videos afterwards, this is a great time to tell them what they missed. Did you hear so-and-so yesterday? She really broke down that thing in a better way. You want to word it better than that. But you want to really promote what happened the day before. Noon of day 2. Guess what, guys? We're still here. Now remember, everybody doesn't necessarily open every email. And I want you to think about your emails. When you look at your emails, particularly those of you that have been here with us all day long, you have not had a chance to really go through your emails today, right? So when you go through your emails, you're going to skim. So you may miss this email number 16. You may see 17, you may miss email 18. So don't worry about sending too many emails. And then finally, and you guys will notice this, you got an email tonight. This is the end of day 2. And you're wondering, why are these folks still emailing me about this event? Because we still want you to watch. And some people remembered, oh, wow, they're still on because of your email. So they were able to click on and still enjoy your information. That's your during event sequence. It's not over yet. It's not over. Somebody say that with me. It's not over. It ain't over. Now we have the after event emails. I personally think these are the most important emails you have. This is it. This is where your money is. If you're monetizing your event and you don't do this, you are leaving money on the table. The day after, you need to thank people for attending your event, and you need to offer them access to the replays if you're having replays. Even if you're not having replays, you want to engage these people. These leads, if you heard my presentation yesterday and we talked about traffic being cold, warm, and hot. These folks are so hot. These are hot folks right here. They have signed up for your event. They have opened your email. You want to engage these people. But everybody, the day after, everybody's not going to engage necessarily. 3 days later, you want to remind them, hey, whatever your after event offer is, and if you do not have a after event offer, you need to work on that. Yes, ma'am.
The after event offer doesn't go in the email number 20?
It does, but you want to remind them again in email number 21. You want to give them more opportunities to do it, because what if you are opening email 20 on the plane back to Texas? And you don't necessarily, you think, man, I really want to get those replays, but I don't have the opportunity to do it right now. You're doing like Trevor, I don't have my credit card. So you want to give them another opportunity. If you don't have an after offer, you got to work on that. You got to work on that. You are leaving so much money on the table. These people have possibly opened 21 of your emails. You need to engage these folks. Yes, ma'am.
Where does the after event evaluation go? Which email is that?
In this sequence, we have not done an after event evaluation.
And that is not something that goes in that sequence. So just to be kind of clear, it doesn't go in that sequence. One of the other notes, while you have it up on the, do you have the mic on? One of the notes that I have on that screen, that as you're coming through the emails, even when you have people attending your events in person, people oftentimes do weird things at events, especially if they're in like locations they've never been to before. So they may go to lunch and be like, oh man, I forgot about that one. Oh, I want to go to, oh yeah, we got to rush back. So those emails help keep them connected. And they say, oh, thanks for sending that email to me. So you want to do that. In addition to that, for those people who don't have a virtual component to your event, that is the time to do so. But an after event evaluation is not a part of the sequence. As a matter of fact, it's not something that I even recommend that is a part of that sequence. I turn it back over to you.
Okay. Finally, the last one, and this is 7 days after. You want to give them a last opportunity to get your replay offer, to get your after event offer, to connect with them, and ideally, this email should invite them to your next event. Whether it is an after party webinar, it doesn't have to be something huge, but you want to invite them to connect with you again. You can invite them to connect with you in your Facebook group. You can invite them to connect with you on Periscope, on Blab, whatever it is, you want to invite them to connect with you. All right, I'm going to call Ryan up so he can talk about, along with the emails, we have tweets that are going out also. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the day 7, so just thinking about replays and repurposing content, typically, you know, maybe it's not typical, but there's a time period in which you keep your replays up. And my understanding is that 7-day period might be outside of that window. So how does that, is this different is it a different approach when you're doing a live event like this?
Well, it depends. If you're doing, for us, I believe we're going to have those things that we have allowed replays for. I believe we're going to have them available for 7 days. If your replay is only going to be 3 days, then your email number 21 is going to say, this is the last day to hear this replay for free. Now is the time to buy. And then your day 7 email will just talk about, now is the time to buy. All right, Ryan, turning it over to you.
All right, thank you. Great job, Vanessa. So we went through the emails. Now, I'm going to talk about the Twitter, because remember, when you register on the registration page, going all the way back here to the beginning, let me jump on this side for a second. Here we go. Registration page. What are we gaining? What information are we asking for? Your name. It's going to ask for your phone number. It's going to ask for your email address, and it's going to ask for your Twitter handle. It's going to ask for your name. It's going to ask for your phone number, because we're going to send you some text messages. It's going to ask email. You just found out why. And your Twitter, because that's what we're going to talk about right now. We're going to tweet you as well. Again, this is all about engaging and keeping you, especially keeping you interested in about the event, especially when it's a free event. You would be surprised. Well, I won't say that, but if it's free, it gives people the option that there's no loss for them if they don't come, right? There's no loss financially. They'll lose all this information. I mean, the 2 days that you got at this event, I mean, imagine how it's going to change your business when you start implementing some of this information you got. But what if we didn't tell you, hey, don't forget to come and check it out, and you forgot because you registered, 45 days ago. So Twitter, here's what we're going to do. And some of this is going to be repetitive, but it's a different platform. So it's going to be, it's going to reach you at a different time. So the first thing we do, tweet number 1, that goes out immediately.
Now,
So,
quick note here. This is moving us into multi-channel communication. And this is what we talked about before, that your communication, everybody ain't gonna check their email.
right.
So for those people who don't check their email, they might check their Twitter, their tweet handles. And some people, their email might end up in their bulk email, or they might have missed it amongst the other 5,000 emails that they got. And so we're also now starting to communicate with them through other channels. So it's a multi-channel marketing effort. Okay, turn it back over to you.
No problem. And I'll tell you about myself, the way I am, I have Twitter, but I'm not on Twitter as much. So I'll see the notifications that there was a tweet sent or a message sent, and I'll see it. Sometimes I'll go and check it, sometimes I won't. Emails, I pretty much check all the emails, but the last piece we're going to get to is the text messages. And Trevor has some stats on why text messages is so important as well, but I don't want to get into myself and why, that's the main thing right there, right? So after that, number 2 is next day. And that's your all right. There I go with my handwriting again. All right. Text number 2 goes out the next day after registration. Goes out your next day, and that's your first gift. You say, well, we just gave out a gift in the email. You're right, we did. But remember, everyone's not going to check their emails. So those who get their text message, they get the same link. Say, here's your first gift. So we're still giving out these gifts, whether through email or through text messaging, because we were talking about this all weekend. We're in the giver's economy. You want to give people more information, more content. And what you're doing as you're giving this information is you're building trust. You're building trust in your brand, and you're building your expertise, trusting your expertise. Because as people start to take your gifts and they see, oh, okay, this is good stuff. You'll see on our website, we don't like giving whack gifts. So we're going to give you stuff that's great, that's content that you can use that other people will try to charge you for. We're just going to give it away because we know that if we can get you in here, get you to the actual events, we're going to change your lives and change your business. All right. So tweets. Tweet number 3 goes out on day 2.
And Brian, if we might,
Mm-hmm.
can we designate all the tweets are not the same. Some are public tweets and some are
Right, I'm
direct
sorry,
messages.
you're right. And I
Gotcha.
meant to say that. Yep. So these gifts, these are direct message tweets. All right. So these, once we get to the gifts, these are direct message tweets. So one, we're not giving out gifts to everyone on Twitter who can read your tweets. That's first and foremost. But 2, a direct message, you're gonna pay a little more attention to that. So who's messaging me, right? It goes down in the DM, right? So,
A couple of notes there.
mm-hmm.
The first tweet, just the first tweet, this is the most important tweet. The first tweet celebrates the person. The first tweet is a public tweet. It celebrates the person. It says, the first one is a PT, public tweet. PT, public tweet, DM, direct message. The public tweet does this. It basically champions. It says, Aisha, thank you for registering for the On Fleek conference. So it says, I want to honor and celebrate Dr. Trey for being a true revenue champion. See you at the conference. Then I put the link for smallbizonfleek.com or whatever. Now everybody who's a friend of mine is seeing, hey, Dr. Trey is going to attend the conference. And also because it's a public tweet, it creates a bandwagon effect. It creates a bandwagon effect. Now, here's what happens. Dr. Trey, who is not necessarily at that moment a follower of mine, all of a sudden, she sees me shout her out. The shout out tweet, that's what I call it, the shout out tweet, right? She sees me shout her out, she decides to follow me because I shouted her out. You got me? So I'm building Twitter followers while simultaneously letting the world know, hey, Dr. Trey just registered. I like that. And now when they registered, they see, oh, wow, look at all these people registered. So, y'all know y'all got some nosy friends out there, right? Mm-hmm. Right, y'all know y'all got some nosy businesses out there, right? And so sometimes they see, well, everybody else doing it, maybe I need to get over there and do it too. Don't forget that people are bandwagonish. And go ahead, give them a bandwagon to get on. Here's the bandwagon. It's called My Conference. Hashtag My Conference, the bandwagon. Take it back over to you.
All right. They are already registered. This is after registration. They've already registered. But your links to the free gifts are in here.
On the public registration.
Yeah.
She's right.
Yeah, on the public, on the first one, yeah.
On the first one, yeah, you want to put a link to the website. Bit.ly the link, like Ryan told you, Bit.ly the link, because it's a shout out, but you're trying to get people on the bandwagon. Hey, Aisha, I want to celebrate you for being a revenue champion. Can't wait to see you at the conference. www.smallbizonfleek.com or whatever. Yeah, only in that first tweet because it's a public link. It's a public link. And we did some tweaks after the initial sequence was written, but this is a public tweet. It's sort of like letting people sneak behind and say, ooh, look over there. Look at Sharette over there registering for the event. I know her. I'm going to go register too, see what she about to get. Take it over to you, Ryan.
Yep. So remember, this section we're on now these are people who already have registered. This is not us promoting to these people. We already have them on board. But like you said, the first tweet, it's for the people who already registered, but it is a promotion because it's public. All right, so the rest of them that are direct tweets, the links that are going to be in here are to their free gifts. All right, not the registration page because they're already registered, right? So the number 4, we're going to send that out on day 3. All right, and that's going to be the 3rd gift. No, that's tweet 4 is day 3. Tweet number 5 is day 7. This gift number 4. I was going to write them all in and I'll come back. Tweet number 6 is on day 10. That's your 5th gift. I know some of you are like, well, geez, I need more gifts. If you're not giving, you know, you're behind the 8 ball. You gotta have content that you can give. All right, so I wrote them all there. So you got day 7. Then day 7 means the 7th day after they've registered. They're going to get this tweet, then gift number 4. 10th day after they've registered, whatever day that is that they registered, 10 days after they register. And again, this is all automated. So you're not going in every day sending these tweets and sending these emails. You tell your autoresponder, after this person registers, 10 days after we get their email, we're sending this out automatically. They're getting gift number 5. Day 4, 7th tweet is on day 14, and that's gift number 6. And again, that's the engagement. They're getting that content that you've promised them, and it's always keeping the event in front of their face. All right.
Ryan, let me add one other little tiny thing on that one. Just a secret tweet, the secret little mastermind thing, right? The mind, I'm just insane. I don't know what's wrong with me, right? But on the last 2 ones, which is what, day 10 and day 14 tweet, where they get the gift, I call it the secret leak. Like where I accidentally leaked out the fact that this is a gift for Aisha Floyd, but I make it a public tweet.
Okay.
And they're like, oh, look at this gift Aisha Floyd get. Let me just click on over here, see what the gift is. I'm gonna go over here, sneak and get the gift too. But to get the gift, every time they get to that gift page, they gotta do what? They gotta hit that share button.
They gotta share.
Right, now that gift page, they hit the share button, they don't just share anything, they share what you want them to share. So it's already pre-written. All they gotta do is hit the button, it goes to their page, shares a pre-written ad copy that Vanessa and Ryan wrote that was designed to convert, and now they get the gift. So those last 2 is called, everybody write that down. Day 10, day 14 tweet is called the secret leak. Those are public tweets. It's called the secret leak. We're like, hey, at Aisha, don't forget to download this phenomenal gift for the Small Biz on Fleek conference. You are gonna love this one. Check this one out. Shh. And I always put it there, shh, like, this is secret between me and you. And it looks like I sent out a tweet that nobody's supposed to see but me and Aisha. But basically, all the little nosy people wanted to click on it and see what they got. I'm just saying, you know, look, people are people. And you got to know how marketing is highly psychological, isn't it, Ryan? And so it's the secret leak. You know, nowadays, if you're a reality star, what you do is you leak your secret sex tape.
Oh, boy.
You know, it was recording the tape.
Oh,
That's
boy.
what they do. They secret leaked it, and then you go watch it, they become famous, and thus they launch a new line. And the secret leak is a technique that's been used in the reality show world now for years. There's always a secret leak. 2 weeks from now, there'll be somebody else's secret leak. So here's a secret leak. So what you're doing is you are paying attention to the psychology of people. People feel a little bit better when they feel like they're getting something. This is the secret. Oh. It's like telling somebody, don't tell somebody. What's the first thing they're gonna do? Tell somebody.
Yeah.
So 6 and 7 are not really direct.
Right, no,
No.
these are going to be the
They
secret
made them
leaks.
look like direct
Yeah.
tweets, but they're really public tweets.
Right, you typing them up like they're direct. And each tweet, you know, it's going to be you're thanking them and you're celebrating them and you're offering them the gift. All right, so it's not like the tweet's not just saying, hey, here's your gift. Click this link. You know, you're celebrating them, you're talking about the event or whatever in 140 characters, and sending out that link. All right.
You mentioned the word automated. Is this still convert using?
This is called Success Engine. So that's what we're doing with this. Yeah.
When you say
Different-
tweets,
Yeah.
the tweets, there are many different platforms you can use.
Yeah.
There's that. You can use Zaps. There are a lot of different platforms. What you're going to use to control your tweets has a lot to do with the autoresponder that you're using. So Depending on what autoresponder you're using, that will tell you which system you will use to control your tweets. Each autoresponder system is different.
There you go. I'm the writer. He's the tech guy. All right. All right. So then day 8. But to add a little bit more, imagine doing this one. It's overwhelming the first time. It's like, oh my God, I've got to write all this stuff. If you choose to do it yourself, we'll talk about that a little later. I've got to write all this stuff. And, how am I going to ever do this? But when you think about the return, and you think about why you're doing it, you think about what you're going to gain and how much more effective your program will be, your event will be, you take the time. Don't focus so much on, you'll waste time on other stuff, but this is really what's going to drive your event right here. And then once you have it done. And then each time you have a new event, you can just tweak it rather than start from scratch. All right? That final tweet, this is all, again, after registration, but before the event, that final tweet, we're going to send on the day, but before the event, the day before at 9 a.m. All right? Now, I left my public and private down there. So is this public or private?
Which one is that?
Last one, number 8.
Public.
That one's going to be public as well.
And which one is that one for?
That's the day before, 9 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So we're making that one public as well.
Oh, that's my favorite one.
See, so that way people say, oh, well, what are they going to? What is this event? So you always can pick up. The thing is, you've got the one person registered. Now you want to kind of tap into their circle as much as you can. All right. So the people on Twitter, they're going to see tweets and they go, what's that? And they're clicking on the link. It takes them through the process and see if you can grab some more people. All right. Now, during the event, you're going to send 2 tweets during that actual event. First tweet we're going to send is going to be the day of the event. It's day 1.
And Ryan, just people asking questions about that last one.
Okay.
The note about that last tweet is it's another opportunity to celebrate the people before they actually attend the event.
Okay.
And some of the things that we don't do enough of at the event is every single person who attends your event should feel celebrated. People want to go to places where they're celebrated, not hated, right? They want to go to places where they are celebrated and not pray. And so what you want to do is praise them, celebrate them, honor them. So that last email prior to the text message, our tweet prior to the event basically says, hey, at Dr. Trey or at Charette or at Justin, we're looking forward to seeing you at #SmallBizOnFleek. Right. And can't wait to see you there. And the link to the event and just celebrating all these people. By the way, all of a sudden, your followers see hundreds of people who all of a sudden you just see the list of people that's getting ready to attend this event. And they're like, whoa, I need to attend this event. And it's funny because even if it's only 100, to your followers, it's like, oh my God, everybody is attending. Because it's not like they're going to stroll down to the last 100, to see exactly what the count is. It's just like, man, whatever they're doing, it's amazing. And it's just an onslaught.
Think about how many times you've been to other business events and you get there and it's just like the presenters, it's all about them on stage. They're there so that they can do the dog and pony show and show you how smart they are. But when you have, contrast that to this event, how many of you who maybe this is your first PPI event, when you saw Trevor on stage, you're like, man, I've been getting tweets from that guy. That's what he looks like, and now you can put a face to the name. Or you've gotten emails and text messages from Vanessa. Every time my phone went up, I was like, why is Vanessa texting me? He's like, oh, wait, that's right. I registered for the event, because, we can talk. So you get that. You say, oh, that's Vanessa. And now you just have that family. Now you have that trust. It's all about trust and building that trust. You're asking people to come to your event, whether it's paid, whether they're paying you to get there or it's free. Eventually, at some point, you're going to ask them to give you some money for something. So they have to trust you and want to do business with you and build that rapport. This is all about that rapport and that communication and engaging them along the way. So that's why all of this is so important. I don't know if I said it all right. I wrote it down. I don't know if I said it. Day 1 is at 7 a.m. All right, so during the event, the first day of the event, remember this is the 2-day big event. All right, so the first day of your event, you're going to tweet them out, 7 a.m. You're letting them know, hey, we're about to get started. You're thanking them again and making sure that they know where to go and watch the actual, if they're watching online, where to actually go so they can watch the actual event. All right. Then on day 2, if you notice, we're not doing a whole lot of tweeting during the actual event. Depending on how your system is set up, you may have them actually tweeting stuff out for you. We use the Facebook group. Some people might want to do tweet. Hey, go on and tweet XYZ out with the hashtag this and that. We like to use our Facebook group. It's really the most effective way to really engage with your tribe. So day 2, we're going to send out another tweet, same time, 7 a.m. Again, just reminding them, so people have lives. People used to saying life gets in the way. It can't get in the way, it's life. Like, I don't believe life gets in the way. I think it's life. It's supposed to be there. It doesn't get in the way. So, but things are going to come up and you're going to forget. You're going to forget that, oh, I wanted to go and watch this event. You've gotten all these emails. You've gotten the text messages. You signed up because you saw something on the registration page that made you think that this event had something that you needed. But if you don't remember to go and attend the event, what was it all for? So we're going to send you that text message on day 2 as well. Say, hey, about to go live. Let's here's the link. Go and watch it. All right. Now, of course, the time of the event is based on our events. We normally start our stuff at 9 a.m. in the morning. If you don't start your event till 12, and I'm not sure what kind of events start that late, but you just want to make it 2 hours before you actually start your event. All right. Last tweet. The last tweet is going to be after the event. Your last after the event is going to be your thank you tweet and your product offer. So at this point, this is when we're thanking people for coming, attending, watching, however they saw it, and we're offering them to take home the event with them. So if you have an automated video delivery system where you can deliver all the videos to them, where they will buy the DVDs, or if it's a replay that you just want to share and give it away for free, this is where you're putting that. It's after the event. Maybe they missed the event. Something happened. Someone got sick and they missed the event and couldn't make it. But a day after, they're getting this tweet saying, hey, here's the replay, or hey, here's where it is you want to buy it, and they can still get it. So don't leave this out. This is very important to make sure you go ahead and get that last bit of engagement and get that off or again, if you're not offering something, that next step. Hey, thanks for coming. Here's the next event. You send it to the next engagement.
And so the important note there is that, and by the way, Shay has joined us on the couch, and the important note there is that that the tweets operate in such a way where it connects with people who really have a Twitter following, and it connects with people who hang out on Twitter. Now, here's what I want you to remember: is marketing gets the conversation started, but PR keeps the conversation going. So the moment that you enter into the Twitter space, you have actually just activated your event's PR campaign simultaneously. So now you are executing a communication strategy while simultaneously executing a PR strategy, because the #1 PR tool in the world is Twitter. And so I'm being careful of what are going to be your direct messages and which ones are going to be your public tweets, but you've just opened up another channel of communication. And simultaneously, you are also building brand awareness and another place where you can communicate with people. One day email may go away. It may become like the beeper, It may become like, the house phone. There were people who thought house phones would be around forever. And when they went away, like, oh my God, we don't know. If emails go away, well, aren't you glad that you had another channel open up with your Twitter followers? Talay, I saw you had a question.
Yeah, so tweet number 9, 10, and 11, are they direct or public?
So the question that she asked is tweet number 9, 10, and 11, public or a direct message. You want to answer that, Vanessa, because I know you have the sheet right there.
Give me the number.
9, 10, and 11.
9, 10, and 11. 9 and 10 are public. 11 is direct. Okay. Now we get to probably what I found to be the most effective part of this whole sequence, and that is the text messaging part. Because people will wait to open their emails. They may or may not go on Twitter. But when you text someone, people open, what's the numbers? What's the stats? Most text messages?
90% of all text messages are open within 3 minutes of being received. 98% of them are open within the first 3 hours of being received.
Absolutely. What he just
He
said.
said 90% in the first
90% are open within the first 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Right, of being received, and 98% are open within the first 3 hours of being received. So you have about
98%.
a 9 out of 10 chance that the person is going to see your message.
Absolutely. So this first text message is immediate. So they got an email, they got a tweet, and they got a text, all immediately after they registered. So they know they registered, and the world knows they registered. The next text message is on day 2. This text message tells them, guess what? I just sent your first gift. So this lets them know, go check your email so that you can download that first gift.
And remember, the message, the gift's not in the text message. The text message is saying, hey, go check your email for the gift. So there's no gift link in the actual text message.
Yep, and the good note about that is that some of y'all, people are not checking your emails because they're getting so many, or it may be in their spam box, and that quick text message just telling them to check their email makes them go check it. You want people to check your email? Well, send them a text message, which is going to be viewed by 98% of them, and then they'll go check it. And now they'll get your stuff out of the spam box and add you to the whitelist.
Text number 3 on day 7. Now, when you're dealing with text, this is so powerful. And because it's so powerful, you'll notice that we space it out more. You do not want to text people every day from when they register to your event to the day of your event. That is the quickest way to piss people off.
They'll be texting back stop in no time.
Absolutely.
Right.
So you want to make sure that you're providing value, that you're providing space, because when you start hitting their text messages, that's personal. You're in that close space.
I want to jump in there. Speaking of personal, because, and I mentioned it earlier, the text message, well, all of them really, they should be, signed. And that's to make sure that all of this has a personal touch, especially the text message, because there's going to be a number that they don't have saved in their phone. You want to immediately, all your text messages come out and say, hi, this is Vanessa. That's the first line. And so you make sure, hi, this is such and such, so they don't delete and say, who is this texting me? So make sure you keep it personal and conversational in those text messages as well.
Absolutely. And if you are using a good system, you can also personalize it to the person. So this is not, it doesn't appear as just a generic text message. It's not, hi friend, thank you for registering. This has their name.
And listen to this testimonial from Sunshine Swinton. She says, the sequence may seem as though it may overwhelm your registrants, but it won't. I set an alarm and I still wouldn't have been here without seeing an email before the event.
Wow.
Wow.
And D. Wilkins said, I got emails from Shay and Trevor asking me, what am I doing? And I said, I'm watching you guys, all of you, all day long, #DoItBig. And so we live in a day and age now where things happen much faster. And so a person may register for an event 30 days from now, 30 days from now is a lifetime. So you really got to stay on top of your sequencing and your engagement throughout the process. And your fears about whether or not they'll feel overwhelmed or not are a little unfounded, because they want to really be reminded. How many of y'all have cell phones where you have, how many of y'all have people's birthdays saved to your cell phones? Raise your hand. Right? And how many of y'all have still managed to forget people's birthdays? Yeah. And so my point is that people really want to be reminded about things that are important to them.
Okay, so these are the first 4 texts, the only 4 texts the day or before your event. Then you,
Could you repeat what those 4 text messages are when they go out?
they go out, text number 1 goes out immediately. Text number 2 goes out the next day. Text number 3 goes out on day 4, and text number 4 goes out on day 14.
And could you just tell us what's in those first 4 text messages?
You want me to give it all away?
Well, just kind of give us a sneak peek of what the purpose is of those first 4.
These first 4 text messages, you will always introduce yourself. You will always say what organization that you are in and the name of the event that they signed up for. Because a lot of people are not going to remember what they signed up for. And you're going to, on day 2, you're going to remind them to go check your email because I just sent your free gift. On day 7, remember day 7, they have a gift also, so you're going to remind them about their gift. And on day 14 is actually the day before your event. So you're going to remind them, hey, this event starts tomorrow. Now we get to during your event. And all of you guys that registered, you've been hearing from me all day long. On the day of the event at 9 a.m., you will send a text message to remind them that your event has started. Don't send a text message at 6 a.m. because people are going to get mad. Make sure that this time is reasonable.
Technically, it's 6 a.m. on the West Coast.
It is, but if
it wants to start, but that's when it started. That's when it started.
That's when your event starts.
Right. Do it when it starts.
But keep that in mind. Day 1.
So if your event starts at 8 o'clock, make sure you send it at 8 o'clock, the start of your event.
Yes, and particularly if it's online. You have to be careful with those early events because you will want to send them a couple of hours before. That's why you have day 4. Because day 4 is the day before the event.
Text 4.
Text 4. I'm sorry, text 4 is the day before the event. Then you have 6 p.m. on day 1. Day 2, you start it over again, 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. Now remember.
Those have the watch links in them, right?
Yes,
right,
these have the watch links.
The link to watch the actual event. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, the party is not over yet. You have text 9, which is the day after.
Did I miss 7 and 8?
7 and 8 are day 2, 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. You got day 1, 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. Day 2, 9 a.m., 6 p.m.
And what's the purpose?
The purpose of this is to remind people that your event is going on.
And you're sending them the link.
Click here to watch.
Right.
And you can put in here some of the things that are coming up for that day.
Wait, so 9 a.m. is saying that the event is starting again? This is
Yes.
Day 1, and the 6 p.m. is
We're still here.
we're still here, but both of those emails, we want to include
Tricks.
the link if we're doing a live stream.
Yes, absolutely. And you may have to change these times based on your event. If your event is an event that is from 9 to 5, then that first text may go out at 9 and that second one may go out at noon. So you need to change it based on your event. All right, we're at text number 9. We're getting to the home stretch here. The day after at noon. Again, you always want to put your name, the name of the event, and this is a simple thank you. Thank you for attending. And of course, you want to include your after event offer and the link to that. Now, I'm going to draw a little line here because text 10 and 11 are actually for those that are attending in person. So text 10 is going to be the day of the event, and guess what you're going to have in it? The address. This is huge because if you have to use your navigation system on your phone, which most people use, if you get a text message with the address, all you have to do is click it, and it will open up your map system. And you don't have to worry about trying to figure out where you're going. You got to make it easy for them. And then number 11 is the day of 7 a.m.
Wait, this is after.
I'm sorry, the day after. No,
Yeah.
actually 11.
Oh, no, that's right.
This is for people that are coming.
That's right. That's right.
And this is the one. This right here was probably the most powerful text message we sent based on response. This is a text message that invites them to find you, to connect with you as a person. We had a number of people come in yesterday, and say, "Where's Vanessa?" That was based on this text message.
Now, before we bring up Sensei, now think about it. Let me get right here for a second. So here we are right here the day after. Let's go right here. The day after the event. But this is like our culmination, these day after. So tomorrow, next week, you'll be getting these tweets, text messages, emails. But it's all started way back here before you even registered. This stuff was already typed up before you even registered. Like Vanessa wasn't typing those text messages and emails this morning. So before we even sent that first Facebook promo post out, that first tweet to promote it, this is already done. We started with the end in mind, and all of this is what we got 1,000 people registered. I know it's tens of thousands. I only looked on live stream. One time I saw it, it said it was over 17,000 people watching. So I don't know what the numbers are everywhere else. But you're talking about tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of eyes.
Like you look who's watching online right now. You just look at the top of the page that you're watching on and see what the new watch numbers are.
Yeah. So I mean, just think all of that. You look. So yeah. So. Okay. No, I thought you were. So all of this is done, and it gets you those results. Whereas before, what were you doing? Setting up, making a flyer and posting it on Facebook and saying, "Come."
17,664.
Wow. And that's just on.
So you set it up one more time?
17,664.
17,664 people have watched.
Now, is that just one platform?
That's where we are now. And we haven't even counted all the numbers from all the different platforms. But 17,000 viewers, well, not a bad day.
Absolutely.
So if you could have 17,000 sets of eyes on your next big event, would it be worth you taking the time it's going to take to put this infrastructure in place? 17,000 people.
And 1,000 people registered. Now, those 1,000 people, I can guarantee you're going to hear from us. Because these thousands of people have indicated that they're interested in your event. They are interested in your event. Now, here's where many people mess up. After the event, they have them on their mailing list, and you don't hear from them again until the next event. I can already tell you, you can expect to get a phone call. You can expect to get some type of acknowledgement. And guess what? If you have the right system in place, how long will it take you to send a robocall out to those 1,000 people that are on that list? Trevor, how long will it take you?
About 2 seconds.
Okay. So when you hear Trevor's voice on your phone in the next couple of days, we'll act like took him a whole lot of time to do that.
Called every single one of you individually.
Yes, said I'm calling you individually. I'm working hard. Having systems in place. Turning it over back to you.
So here's a couple of special notes. The only thing that we need to add to the board is we need to add 2 robocalls.
Got it right there.
One robocall immediately after registration, and another robocall is mic check, mic check. One robocall immediately after registration, and that robocall should say, "Hey, by the way, you're going to get." I just want to say thank you for registering, and tell them, "Hey, you registered for the event. We're sending you some emails. You're going to get some gifts." Just a really polite message, but just kind of giving them quick and dirty, quick and fast, under 1 minute, exactly what they're going to get from the event. So, hey, this is Vanessa Collins. I'm the event coordinator, and I saw you just registered, and I was hoping you had a few seconds because I just needed about 20 seconds to tell you everything you need to know about this conference. Number 1, this. Number 2, this. Number 3, this. Number 1, check your email. Number 2, I'm going to be sending you some free conference goodies, 6 of them to be exact, so be sure to check your email. And number 3, hey, I'm looking forward to seeing you. If you need anything, and I do mean anything, be sure to just reach out to me at blankblankblank.com and something like that. So that's the first robocall. The second robocall is usually around about 11 o'clock a.m. 11 o'clock a.m. or typically, really, I like to send this one out. I like to send this out about 15 minutes before the event starts. So, for some people have later starting events. So, say, hey, by the way, you registered for the event. I just wanted to remind you, it's like just kind of a wake-up call. Hey, looking forward to seeing you today. Let me tell you what you're going to learn on day 1 of the conference. Make sure you're on time. Arrive early. And then the last robocall is the one the day after the event, thanking them for attending. And also offering them any assistance if they may need it. And so that's your robocall sequence. And that's your 2-day big event blueprint. And the thing about it is you don't have to have an empty event. And so Shay, what are your thoughts about it?
I thought that you cannot have another event without implementing at least a strategy seen here on the 2-day big event. Because it does a couple things. One, it saves you time. Why? Because you plan early on. Number 2, it increases the participation and the engagement for those folks that are attending your event. And number 3, we all need a reminder. I mean, that was clear on one of the folks here tonight said, hey, I wouldn't have been here tonight, although I set my alarm, if I didn't get the email reminder.
And I got a couple of special notes, but I see we had a question from the audience.
What system do we use for a robocall?
You can use a call loop. You can use a fix the funnel. You can use one of those type of systems. Team PPI has an internal one that we call Bumblebee. So you can use any system like that. And what was your question, Aisha?
I have a 2-parter. The first one is how far in advance of the event should all of this be done?
Minimum 45 days. Okay. Ideally, if you really get a good head start, You can get as far out as 90 days. I would say maximum, probably no more than 120 days. That's a maximum. Now, keep in mind, the longer the earlier you start, the more copy and engagement you need throughout. You follow me? So you might have to add some additional emails, some additional tweets, and things like that, because you got to maintain their attention over a longer period of time. Like Ryan has been married 3 years, right? 2 years, right? So he's been married for a while. The longer he stays married, there's more and more birthdays. There's more and more. He's got to engage over a longer period of time. I'm giving you some marriage advice, right? This from a single guy, right?
Trevor, appreciate it.
But this is set for like 45?
This is set for anywhere between a 45-day to 60-day window. It's more optimal at 45 days. If you stretch it out, no worries. Just make sure that you add additional engagement along the way. Now, a couple things. There are 3 key documents that I'm going to just show you real quick. First, and that sequence is a 14-part automation sequence, and I'm going to go through what those parts are in just a second. And everybody write this down, right? Take your pens out. It's a 14-part automation sequence, and looks like I just want to make sure I have all of it. So part 1 is the pre-event Twitter sequence. Part 2 is the pre-event email sequence. So these are all promos. This is happening before the event.
If Justin, if you can bring it up here, I'll point while you.
Yeah, gotcha.
You can see what we're doing.
So part 1 is the pre-event Twitter sequence. Part 2 is the pre-event email sequence. Part 3 is the pre-event Facebook sequence.
Hold on, wait, the first part is what?
The first part is the pre-event Twitter sequence,
Oh, Twitter.
right? Part 2 is the pre-event email sequence. Part 3 is the pre-event Facebook sequence. By the way, if you miss any of these, the best note taker in the history of the Peak Performance Institute goes to Dr. Trey Strieger. She's watched more hours of PPI presentations and taken better notes than anybody that we've ever seen, followed only by Vanessa. And she came to take Vanessa's crown. I'm going to work on that part. Part 3 is the pre-event Facebook sequence. Part 4 is the custom registration page. Part 5 is the thank you page. Part 6 is the after registration emails. Part 7 is the during the event emails. Part 8 is the after event emails. Part 9 is the after registration Twitter sequence. Part 10 is the during event Twitter sequence. During, D-U-R-I-N-G, during event Twitter sequence. Part 11 is the after event Twitter sequence. The after event Twitter sequence. Part 12 is the after registration text sequence. Part 13 is the during event text message sequence.
During event.
Text message sequence. Part 14 is the after event message sequence. Bonus part 15 is the robocall sequence. Bonus part 16 is the paid advertising sequence. The paid advertising sequence. So you have 2 bonus sequences. Now, whenever we write this out, we first have a tech document. This is our tech document. And the tech document is for the